everyone, it's me Emily. Today I am doing a speed build on my book themed island, and the inspiration for today is A Court of Thorns and Roses, which is one of my absolute favourite books or favourite book series of all time. But today specifically I'm going to be focusing on the first book, which is Thorns and Roses, and I'm going to be doing the Spring Court. Don't worry if you've not read the book, it will still make sense because I'll kind of explain everything. But yeah, we're going to be making a little kind of spring garden today, and hopefully it will be super fun just because I love this book so much, so I'm very excited to bring it to life. Now, the area I'm going to be working on is all around my house, and that is because eventually the house is going to become the big mansion that is in the Spring Court. So a very brief explanation would be this girl who lives in the forest is taken by a fairy or a kind of mythical being, and she is forced to go live in the fairy world, and the world is divided up into different sections, which is one for each season. So there's spring, summer, autumn and winter, and then also there's 3 different time zones. So there's night, I want to say there is night, dawn and maybe morning, but I could be wrong on that. I actually think instead of morning, I think it might be called the day court, but those ones aren't really featured in the book. The only one that gets featured is spring and then night, I believe. It's been a while since I've read it, but I think I'm correct that it's day and dusk, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, she's taken away to the little land of the fairies, and basically from the forest, all of the normal humans, they have no idea how kind of to get to the land of the fairies. They know it exists, but they can't really get through, and that's because there is this big invisible wall, which is almost like a big force field that keeps them out. So this is what I'm creating right here with these simple panels, is I'm using a whole bunch of flowery designs to kind of create the wall, and I wanted to do it so that it hid, obviously it's Animal Crossing so it can't actually fully hide, but the idea is that it's going to hide what is up on the cliff top, which is where it's meant to be the fairy zone, and it hides it from where we are right now on the ground kind of floor of my island, which is the forest zone. And specifically I put the simple panels so that you couldn't see the incline, which I really like because it makes it as if it's some kind of a little secret back there. And yeah, this main girl, Feyre, gets taken into the Spring Court, and I'm not going to say any spoilers or anything, but she is forced to live there with the main guy called Tamlin in the first book, who is a werewolf, or yeah, part man, part werewolf. It sounds funny, but I think it's actually a really good book and I enjoy it, and I've read it quite a few times and I just really enjoy the whole series. I'm just quickly going to customize this to be a different color because I had an extra purple and I wanted to keep the pattern of purple and yellow. So I'm just placing down this final little yellow flower, and that is the wall complete. So as you can see from the forest core section, you can't really see what's going to be up here. There is a plane taking off where I live, by the way. I always try to mention it because I don't know whether or not you guys can hear. But I'm grabbing the custom design app and I wanted to create the path that is going to be leading to the mansion, because the idea is as soon as you come up the ramp, you're suddenly in a world of spring and luxury, and I really want it to feel different to the forest part of my island. So I wanted to use much lighter colors. I wanted to make it be fresh, vibrant, and also a big difference is that she goes from a world of poverty to suddenly a world of richness and wealth. And eventually, like I said, this house is going to become the mansion where she lives in the Spring Court, but I won't be doing that in today's video. I'm just running to grab the other Nook Mile path, by the way, because I wanted to use the terracotta one, but I'm actually going to be turning that into like a whole mansion with other buildings around it and making it into a whole big thing. Very much that build will be inspired by the kind of elegant core theme that I've been seeing with the whites and blues and stuff like that, but today I just wanted to focus on the part that is actually based in spring. I don't know how much sense that makes, but certainly that was my intention. Just to create the spring garden today, and I'm just going to quickly grab some shrubs and flowers and everything that I might want to use. And I did decide to go ahead and change out the pathing that I had been using into the terracotta. I just think it looked a little bit lighter, more vibrant, and I guess most importantly a bit different to what I currently have on the rest of my island, because as I kind of said, I just want this to feel really different. And I wanted to use a lot of symmetry in this build just because I think it creates that kind of nice look, and this part isn't meant to be natural landscape, whereas like the forest and all my other areas have been quite natural. This is meant to be, I guess you could think of it as just like a very rich man's garden. So he would definitely have nice organized symmetry, but I was careful to not make the whole thing completely symmetrical, just because that would be almost impossible to build from. I would have to have 2 of every item and it just wouldn't feel like how I wanted it to. But I definitely made sure to keep the trees symmetrical. And then I'm just coming out with this little bit of stone pathing to create a kind of different section coming off to the left here. And of course I have to add some sparkly flowers all over the path just for that little bit more interest, and I guess it helps to have lots of flowers in this build because it's meant to be spring and everything is meant to be coming to life and exciting. I did play around with this little butterfly pond. I really like these design codes. If you ever want a design code that I use, please just leave me a comment and I will get it for you. And I am also planning on making a video where I show every single design code that I use on this island. And I felt like the little butterfly path just worked so nicely, kind of tucked in between these bushes right here. And then I like to dig holes where I want to place flowers just to kind of help remind myself where I was wanting to put them and to check that they're going to be in the right space. And I mainly stuck with pink and white flowers for this build, which I really like, and I just know that this build would look so gorgeous if it was in cherry blossom season. I don't know when I'm going to set my island, it kind of depends when I finish it, and I still want to see how this island looks in autumn because I've not seen it yet, and I think it might look really gorgeous in autumn. But depending on how it looks in autumn, if I don't go with that, then I think I'm definitely going to go with spring. And certainly if I go with a spring cherry blossom season, then this build would just look so pretty because all of the pinks and the trees would come out, and yeah, I just love that season a lot. I'm grabbing a whole bunch of furniture, just kind of anything that I think would look nice. I really wanted to use pretty lighting for this build as well. And I'm mainly today just focusing on this area kind of right where the trees are. I'm not going to worry about filling the whole space because as you saw in the beginning, it was so huge. I just wouldn't be able to do it in a short enough video. It would be really difficult to watch if I made a build that big. But I'm just coming through. I had these flower beds that I was hoping would look really cute, but they were just a little bit small. I don't quite know why. I didn't know how small they were going to be or what, but certainly they didn't exactly look like how I wanted. And then once I realised that I couldn't fully push them together, I kind of gave up on that idea. I just didn't like how they were looking anymore. I did try the ruined broken pillar, which I think I had in my head because of those gorgeous, elegant core builds that I've been seeing recently, and they look so pretty, and they've been using all of the broken pillars and things like that, but it just didn't look right for this build, so I kind of gave up on that. And I did place down that wedding arch, which again, with no spoilers, I will just say it maybe foreshadows to something a little bit exciting that happens during a wedding in the book. So I was really pleased with how that looked. And I actually liked how this welcome sign looked as well, because it's as if she's being brought into this land for the first time and she's supposed to feel welcome, but I don't think she necessarily does. Yeah, it's such a fun book. I feel like whenever I do the book themed builds, I'm a lot more inspired. I like all the builds on my island, but it's so fun getting to talk about books that I love, and it's fun bringing them to life within a game that I love as well. So yeah, I always feel very inspired when I'm doing these builds, just because, like I say, it's so much fun for me, and it's very different to any theme for an island I've done before. like a book theme is not something that I think is, it's not really a set theme, even though I would say most of my builds have ended up being either forest core or fairy core. Certainly there's variation in them, and yeah, I've just had a lot of fun with it. So if you're feeling burned out, maybe try a book themed island or a fairy tale island, do whatever you fancy. And then I did want to put some waterscaping in, and I did this cute little wreath, and then I placed for Bunny Day topiary here, and it just looks so cute, the little bunny kind of hopping over the stream. So yeah, I was really pleased with how that turned out. I really love waterscaping. I think it just adds so much to an island, and it's a really easy thing to do if you're stuck for space, because sometimes I have awkward spaces and I don't quite know what to put, and if I can just put a tiny little, even just one little square of water, I feel like it just looks so cool, and it's just different to using furniture. So yeah, I really like it. Unfortunately, I couldn't put any waterscaping on the other side, but that's okay. I made it through, and then I came in and decided to build up some cliffs back here, just because I think cliffs would help this build a lot. I am just going to massively speed up this footage just because it is literally just me creating cliffs. But I wanted to do, this is something I have in the entrance of my island as well, is these kind of weird little wacky cliffs, and I think they're really nice and simple, and just they add a little bit of depth to the island and some height. And especially because sometimes what I find, at least for me, my major struggle is with builds is a lot of the items in Animal Crossing are the same exact height. So sometimes everything starts to look repetitive, or even if you have different heights, they're all the same like set of heights. So you either have small items that just go on the ground, or I guess medium height, and then tall items. I feel like there's not exactly enough variety in heights. And I don't know why, I just never end up liking how it looks when all of my furniture is at the same height. So definitely adding cliffs just helps make it a little bit different. And then I'm using this gorgeous Valiant statue, and this I just love so much. For one, I think that the white of the statue just looks so pretty and fairy-like, and obviously it has these gorgeous wings, so it's very kind of whimsical and mystical, so it adds to the whole vibe of the build in general. And then if you guys have read the books, or I guess more specifically read the following books that come after ACOTAR and read the whole series, then I really like this because the statue almost looks like it has bat wings, and bats become a bit of a significant part of the series in future books. So yeah, it's just a nice little reference to that. I did get stuck on the cliff, which was embarrassing. I had to phone the rescue services, which I feel like I never have to do. But they were great. They just dropped me straight back off at my house, and then here I am done with this cute little cliff. So it was really easy. I'm gonna come through and add another peach tree here. Because I didn't have the pink trees, because it's not cherry blossom, I think that the peach just looks really nice and a little bit different to the regular hardwood trees. They help add a nice pop of colour. I'm going to drop off the items that I know I'm not going to use anymore, and then have a little search for some new items just because I was feeling a bit stuck. I did pick a few more lighting options to maybe chuck around the build. I picked up lots of stuff that I ended up not using, which is just classic for Animal Crossing. I feel like you have to have a whole bunch of stuff in your inventory so that you know what options you have, but certainly not many of them got used. And as soon as I saw this painting set, I was suddenly like straight back into the build, because I was feeling a bit stuck whilst I picked the items, but I saw the painting set and I immediately knew what I wanted to do. So the main character, Pharaoh, she paints a lot in the books, and it's kind of her hobby or her passion. So I wanted to make sure to use the painting set somewhere. I accidentally opened the Happy Home Paradise thing, but closed that down quickly and got back to adding custom designs, which was my intention. But yeah, she paints a lot, so I wanted to create her almost a little kind of secret cove where she could come to paint and be just happy and relaxed. And it took me a little while to get this painting set right, because I couldn't decide if I wanted it slightly hidden behind the bamboo tree or where I wanted it. Once I put down the white cosmos, I decided to actually have it poking through from the other side of a bamboo, but then I had to go through this whole process of getting rid of a custom design where I had it and putting one down under the painting set, so it took a little while. But yeah, she would have this cute log bench to come sit on and paint, and I really like how it turned out. I think it's so super cute. And with the painting set done and one more set of flowers, I am now done and happy with the build. So let me take you on the final walkthrough. So you would come from down the forest area, and it's meant to be a case of, oh, you don't really know where you're going, up the secret hidden ramp, and suddenly you are in this gorgeous fairy core spring area. Everything is suddenly so much lighter and come to life. The gorgeous wedding arch and a path that leads you back to the mansion, which will be in a future build. We've got these cute little fairy core cliffs, a bunny, a space to stop and paint, a pond, and then on the other side the little welcome sign and a bird bath. I am genuinely so thrilled with how this build turned out. I feel like, yeah, I've been very excited about this build, and it was one of the first ideas I had for this island, so I've wanted to make it for a while, and it just came out so cute, and I'm very, very happy with it. So I really hope you guys liked it. Even if you're not familiar with the book, I hope it was still fun. And with that, if you want to see more, please consider subscribing, but I will see you all next time. Bye!